And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 32 of Sundays with Craven, the live podcast weekly where we always talk about the good stuff. Silver, gold, precious metals, pretty much anything shiny. And we always have a good old chinwag. I apologize profusely. I am about 16 minutes late and that is completely my fault. I don't know what button I pressed. I don't know what I did. I've actually got my DJI mic supposedly working, but something went wrong. So I'm back to the iPhone, but I can hear Dan now because that was the issue. I've fixed it and we're ready to go. So thank you so much for waiting. I really appreciate your patience. I may have just mentioned special guest this evening, ladies and gentlemen. It speaks for itself. It is a really special one. I can't wait to have this conversation, and you guys are going to be just as involved in that conversation. I want to see activity in the chat, questions coming through, and don't forget there is going to be a designated segment where we focus entirely on the chat and ask questions from you to our special guest. There is also going to be, if you've been following the updates, a very saucy giveaway. And yeah, someone this evening is going to be announced live, and they are going to be the proud winner of a gold bar, courtesy of our special guest. But enough of me waffling. I want to quickly say hello to everyone that has tuned in so far. I can see 41 of you live in the audience, tuned in from the start. Thank you so much. If you don't mind, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. It lets me know that you're enjoying the show, and it supports what we're doing here. So let's say hello to everyone in the chat. If I miss your name, I'm really sorry. So if I scroll up a little bit, guys, I can see Silver Stag Stacker, Ian Atterbury, Magsy99, Queen Nessie, Shiny Silver, Team of Fluff, Electric Bloke, Villainous Bounty, Stacker Dan. Who else have we got? Nemo's Numismatics, good to see you. Blazing Bullets, CO4 Hordian, good to see you, mate. Thanks for stopping in. Scottish Bullion Collector, BBA, the People's Champion, Glass Fellow, good to see you. Ian Kirk, Nerd UK, loads of you in tonight. We have a star-studded audience, guys. Thank you so much. Crispy Shiny Things, thank you for joining. Who else have we got? Diaxis on the other side of things, the world's #1 producer. Thank you for being here, mate. Much appreciated. Silver Stag Stacker, G-Star 9449. Who else have we got? Rajesh K4186. Loads of you guys. Jonathan Herbert. Who else have we got? The Humble Stacker. Good to see you, mate. Thank you so much for being here. Big Green Stacker. Oh, Adrian. Who else have we got? There's so many comments. I'm flying through these. Robot Toaster. Ian Ritchie. Who else do we have? Israeli Coins. Thank you for joining. That's amazing. So, yeah, wow, loads of names, guys. If I missed any of you, as there is 49 live right now, I'm really sorry. We will focus on the chat again shortly, and we'll have a good conversation. But I am not going to go on any further. We're already 15 minutes late, and I want to bring in the special guest. So a very warm welcome, making their second appearance on the Sundays with Craven podcast. I'm delighted to be bringing in Dan from Cardiff Gold. How are you doing today?
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for having me on, Craven. It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, it was fantastic to have a conversation with you last time. I think that was a good few months ago now. Time really does fly, and I'm really happy. I think I messaged you within the last week. So I didn't give you much notice. I just said, Dan, fancy coming back on the Sundays with Craven podcast? And you basically just said, yeah. So thank you so much for just being up for it on the spot, basically.
Yeah, gotta get on with it, haven't we? We gotta have a chat. There's lots of questions. I think your viewers are probably gonna have quite a few questions for me as well. So there's a lot going on, a lot to get through. There's some really famous people in that chat, though. Really famous people.
There is. It's a star-studded audience. Everyone is here this evening, and like I say, thank you so much for being here. It's a very exciting episode, and I personally can't wait to sort of pick your brains and ask, a bullion dealer the ins and outs of what's been going on with precious metals. I have so many questions I want to ask you. Guys in the chat, we will focus on you at a certain point, and you will have the opportunity to ask any questions you want to Dan. It's really interesting. At the end of the day, we talk about this every week, but I think to learn a perspective from a bullion dealer such as yourself, we may find out quite a few things that we don't know or that we don't expect. So I'm not going to waste any more time. You have been on the show once before, Dan, as I mentioned, so you've got a little idea of how this works. We do 90% of the conversation is about precious metals, but as you know, sometimes there's a few really out there questions. And one thing that I do as a tradition is I get each special guest to leave a question for next week's special guest. So we'll ask you for a question for next week's guest at the end. But last week's special guest was no other than my good friend Andy, Creative Precious Metals. He has a YouTube channel. And he left you a question that I have never, ever had asked before. So I can't wait for your answer. I did give you the courtesy of knowing what it was in advance so you could have a think. But the question from Andy last week was, if you could change one body part on your own body, what would it be and why? Great question.
Yeah, and with my sense of humor, I've had to really, really dig deep for this answer, to be honest. And first off, though, Andy, what a nice guy. Really, really good guy. I've met him in person, and he's a really, really genuine guy.
Yes.
However, this question is a little bit cruel on my sense of humor there, Andy. So I always, as a kid, I always wanted 4 arms. So I would probably change to have 4 arms, because that's kind of a superpower, right?
I guess it would be 4 arms. Yeah.
4 arms, like super strength, 4 arms. Yes.
What if you had 4 arms? A bit of a follow-up question, because Andy he really wanted to know not just what body part, but why. So you're choosing 4 arms. Why 4 arms? What are you going to do with those 4 arms?
No, extra high fives. Who knows? Yeah, as a kid, that was I think there was someone there was a cartoon character, 4 arms. I don't know, it was a long time ago. Yes, we did have cartoons when I was younger, but yeah, I don't know. Always as a kid.
I think weirdly, the first one that came to mind, am I thinking of Mr. Tickle? He had loads of arms, didn't he?
No. It must have been like an X-Man or something cool, okay? Something cool.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, it's a difficult first question, and it's a good way to sort of open the show. Get you thinking about some things, even if they're not really relevant to what we're going to go on to talk about. But I'll come back to you at the end, and I will ask you for a question for next week's guest. So thank you for that. But what I'd like to do now is start the interrogation. Are you ready? I have loads personally, mate, that I want to ask you. And of course, guys in the audience, if you want to put stuff in the chat as we go along, I will go back and forth to it. But once again, as a reminder, there will be a designated sort of Q&A segment where I will focus on the chat. So if I miss anything, I'm sorry. But Dan, without further ado, where I'd like to start is by highlighting the fact that over the last few months, the precious metals market has been a volatile place. Recent events, it's towards the back end of last year, the price surged upwards. And then what we're seeing since then, it's obviously, naturally, it's fluctuated, but it's gone back down. We're just at just a little over £50 per ounce for silver. And I think gold, as we speak, it may be just below 3,400. I'd have to check that. But it's gone down from where it was on both metals. What I'd like to ask with you is, with that in mind, what are your thoughts on that? Just to get a little idea. And also, what sort of trends have you noticed at Cardiff Gold from your customers? Has anything changed in the way they approach what they buy? I'd love to know. Tell me.
There's quite a few questions in there, Craven. Yes. It's been a bit of a ride. So gold is sitting at 3,371, somewhere around there, 3,370, 3C, yeah, somewhere around there. Silver also down on the weekend. Last few months have been crazy, right? Let's go back to October last year. for instance, and we were starting to see an uplift in interest, new customers, new people walking through the door, and new metals being sought. So gold customers maybe starting to look for silver customers maybe looking for copper. And over that period of time, we started to see a very gentle increase in uptake of precious metals and the others. Caught us by surprise, I think, a lot of us by surprise. The other suppliers in the industry, the mints, wholesalers, everyone, I think, stepped back a bit. And then we started to see the silver price head towards that £50 an ounce mark just before Christmas. And then after Christmas, wild, right? Wild ride. We saw gold rocket. We saw silver rocket to sort of heights we weren't really expecting. But the big part of that was demand, because what we can see and sort of look back on, especially through my data, is even though you're seeing the price move, you're not always seeing demand move with it. And that can be a little bit of a tell as to what's going on and what's not going on, right? So we saw demand really rocket before the price started to go up. And this is across gold and silver. I'll come to copper in a little bit. We need a good chat about copper. But we started to notice the silver demand kick up after a little bit of fuss summer last year, when leasing rates started to go up. Normally leasing rates are pretty low, single digits. At the moment, they're double digits. They've been triple digits in percentages. So everyone dropped their stock, and it made a false-ish sense of lack of availability. Whereas it's not unavailable, it just takes time. So if you're expecting Amazon service from a bullion dealer at the moment, you're probably not going to get it. And bringing people into that message and sort of communicating that out has been very, very difficult for the whole industry, I think. So yes, you can fix certain metals, silver particularly, you can fix it. We'll honor it, but it might take us a couple of weeks, and at one point it was a couple of months to supply, because that demand just was just so high. Recently, demand has dropped back a little bit for some metals, particularly silver, or some metals in certain forms is probably more accurate. So the silver coins, for instance, still is demanding. And availability is starting to catch up as well. I think the mints are now starting to kick in with additional manufacture. So priorities of manufacture obviously are going to be gold, but industrial based and financial based. So the banks, the governments, they get their gold first, right? And then after that, yeah. And then after that, sort of retailers like us and wholesalers like us sort of come second or third in line with there. Sometimes industrial use kicks up above us. So gold and silver obviously follow on that trend. So they make gold bars and coins first, then silver coins second. And that's largely what that price difference is, right? So you're getting gold for about 3.5 to 6% above spot. Silver could be 19, 20, 50% above spot. And that's because they have to retool to take from gold into silver. So they put a bit of the cost on the silver, and then obviously they have to clean up and retool back. So there's a bit of cost involved in making silver. So yeah, huge amount of demand. Volatility, I think, was another topic you touched on. I don't like volatility. If we want volatility, we'll go and play with currencies and all the other stuff. What we want is a nice, steady, safe haven place to be. And I think a lot of people forgot that about gold, particularly, and silver as well, to a degree. But that's a little bit of FOMO as well. So I think that this settled back in the price is fair. It may have gone a bit too far. So that 33.70 might be a little bit too low. So a little bit of a sale, I guess, before it starts to pick up, probably the end of this month into next month, where it will start going again. And don't forget, we got the financial year as well, so that can be a big issue.
Yeah. Wow. It's I really appreciate you explaining that. I know when I asked it, I probably asked you about 11 questions off the bat there. I'm sorry. But it's really interesting here you talk about it, especially from your side of things at Cardiff Gold, and getting an insight into what's going on there. And you mentioned demand, you mentioned the volatility. I want to know a bit more on that, because when you are getting more stock from your suppliers, I believe is a lot of your silver come from metal ore. I may be right there, I'm not sure. I think you mentioned metal ore. But is the stock been a problem? And I want to know, how have you managed the demand when it has been high? You've mentioned wait times to get this stock in, could be a long time, but within that time from when you've purchased it, the price could have gone up, it could have shot down. How have you managed that to make sure that, I guess, the business from a financial point is protected, and also during these volatile times that the customers on the end of this are happy, with premiums that are applied? How have you managed that? Because I can only assume it's been a challenge. We'd all love this ideal world that you mentioned, where it's for investors, it's a steady, growth on the metals. We love that. Volatility, it sparks conversation, it creates doubt, hype, FOMO. What's going to happen next? People panic sell, people panic buy. But how does Cardiff Gold deal with that and manage that?
Oh, that's probably the biggest part of my job at the moment. So my role within Cardiff Gold is largely sales related, and also making sure that we have the right products to engage with those sales. But my focus largely, and with Natasha, Jake, and Harriet, and Sylvia, and now Lucy, who's just joined our team, we're all trying to maintain that constant communication, that constant feed, that constant engagement. But it's really hard work. We've made mistakes. We've made errors. We've made really good decisions as well. But obviously, you don't see the good decisions. You only hear of the bad ones. So it's been a challenge the last couple of months. It's been exhausting and tiring. A little bit about my day. It kind of starts around 6:30 with hundreds of messages ready to go. And then it sort of ends around 10:30, 11 o'clock. The last couple of months have been a little bit outside those hours with, I think at one point I woke up to over 200 WhatsApp messages from clients. So
I was going to say half of them was me asking you to come on the podcast.
So when it comes to suppliers, so obviously me particularly, I love metal ore products. We engage with metal ore quite a lot. I don't know if you know, but they're changing their branding, they're changing their packaging, they're coming more in line, a bit more modern, a little bit more colorful. Beautiful bars, beautiful packaging, but really great price, right? And that's very similar then to Umicore. The guys at Umicore, amazing product, very, very durable packaging with them. Standard, no frills, but a really good price. We've recently introduced then Royal Mint products and Germanium Mint products as well. So obviously we've had supply from Germanium Mint for many, many years. I remember Simon and the team there for maybe 7-8 years. And obviously we've also got ongoing relationships with Geiger and Heracles in France, plus New Zealand Mint and many other wholesalers and that. And managing that stock flow and where we get stock from can be very, very difficult for us. But the simple process that happens when you make an order with a bullion dealer like myself is you would make an order for a gold coin. That gold coin is largely held in stock most of the time, not always, but held in stock most of the time. And what we do is, as soon as you click order, you enter in a contract with us. And this is what a lot of people don't understand about this industry. It's very different to ordering maybe a pair of shoes from Adidas or Nike. And to get that whole process across, we've kind of changed a lot of our wording and the way that we do things. So you've made the order, you're obligated to pay, we're obligated then to supply. So once you've paid, the order is placed, it's locked in. That metal in a raw form is locked. We then get that product and we ship it to you. That's where the break in the chain has been, is once the order is made and we fix the metal with our supplier, is getting that physical product to deliver. So people forget that once you've locked that order in, once you've made your order and you've paid, I'm obliged to supply you at that price, and you're obliged to pay me at that price. Receiving the item, actually, in the grand scheme of things, probably isn't as important as what it might be, your sort of groceries or something like that, because your gold, your silver is going to be a long-term hold. You're going to hold it for 3 to 5, maybe 15 years before you're going to start seeing realistic profit.
Ideally.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, gold has flown this year, right? So we have seen some people make very short-term profits using that volatility, and we see that even in the physicals market. Never mind, sort of the devil of ETFs and all that kind of stuff. So, challenge, a very, very big challenge. We have had to expand our team. We have Lucy. I think maybe you might have seen a TikTok or the other sort of stuff where Lucy's joined us.
There was one very recently. It may have even been yesterday or the day before. Definitely last week. It was hilarious. You didn't say anything. It was all sort of sign language and
yeah.
and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, Lucy's just joined us. Harriet moved on, and we see that in the industry, right? It's a very tough industry to be in. To be quite honest and quite frank with everyone, sometimes the customers aren't very nice to us. So although we try and be as accommodating as we can, we also have to protect our business and what we do, and set sort of standards as to what we can and can't do. And sadly, some of the customers haven't been as good as what we would normally expect. So it can take a toll on you, like any industry, I guess, especially with the state of the copper demand at the moment, which is probably something we should touch on. Yeah,
I do want to talk about copper. Copper is in the title, and yes, precious metals, gold and silver. I love talking about that, and that's what we talk about every week. There is a lot going on with copper. I actually had a question just off that. We will come to copper. I want to come to copper, but we're going to just wait a little longer, because from what you just said there, going back to your last answer, Dan, which was really exciting. You've got a lot of exciting things going on. It sounds like there are lots of challenges being a bullion dealer. It sounds like you're managing those challenges as best as you can, and kind of also learning with this market. You don't know what's coming next. Learning. Also, sounds like you're working with some really exciting and big mints. I know that when you mentioned Germania Mint, they're very, very popular amongst stackers in the community. And I would like to ask you just what, out of everything you sell, I don't know if you can say this, what's your individual most popular product? Just one.
Right. I have to caveat this with a little bit of a statement. So, how do I say this? Largely the most popular product in the store is the 1 ounce Gold Britannia at the moment. However, it could be argued now that copper products are starting to take that over. And that's I think largely because of the price difference, right? And price and things. But we are Cardiff Gold. And we do primarily aim our services at that gold investor, and I think that's quite evident really in that my product range for the last couple of years has been really centric around gold, and my silver offering hasn't been as good as what it probably could be, and that's actually something that's really exciting that's happening behind the scenes. So Natasha and Amit, you may have heard of him, so he's sort of the director of the company then. And we were having a chat, and Jake brought up a really good idea of going back to some of the basics that we used to do a few years ago. So we are going to try and expand that silver offering as well, and just bring in a few different, a little bit more interesting bullion-based or investment-based prices for some bullion investment style coins, but with a bit of a theme. You know, we like a bit of a theme. So yes, from my side and what I do on a day-by-day basis, which is look at high-level investors, people who buy a lot of precious metals for very specific investment aims and goals. Gold Britannias are probably my most popular, closely with gold bars at an ounce and above. But as a shop, as a whole, as a business as a whole, I think copper by quantity, I think copper is probably a little bit higher now.
Okay, well, Dan, I can't wait any longer. I need to know copper. We've mentioned it. I spoke about copper last week with Andy, which was an interesting conversation. It's really popular. I've seen prices that are a little bit higher all of a sudden for copper products, and that surprises me personally, because although I think it's an absolutely stunning metal, the different designs I've seen, obviously Germanium Mint, we spoke about them, their bars absolutely beautiful in different sizes, it looks great intrinsically, and I'm talking from an investor point of view, and I want your stance on this. Intrinsically, to buy this copper in that form, you're paying way over the odds. Like, it doesn't make sense to me as an investment. But if people are just solely buying it because it looks great, I understand it. But why are we seeing this big, all of a sudden, demand for copper, and everyone wants copper? What's going on? Is there something that you know, what's going on behind the scenes, Dan? I don't get it.
So I can only answer this by being controversial and saying things that people just aren't going to like. So not too much hate in the comments, please. There's been a shift. There's been a shift in what people can and can't buy, what they can and can't afford, and the purchasing aims, I think, of a lot of people. So what we would normally see is someone with the sort of unlimited affordability, then, just to set that out there, would probably go for Gold Britannias. And as their affordability has come down, we've seen sort of cost of living increases, tax increases, petrol and diesel now is pretty high. We're starting to see that affordability come down. So where someone would maybe only be able to afford an ounce of gold a month, maybe they're heading now towards 20 grams or half an ounce, right? So that affordability has shifted because wages and income hasn't shifted, but the gold price has jumped, right? So you're talking 30-40% jump in sort of 12 to 18 months. Now, when you start to come down the order a little bit, we're starting to see people who maybe would be able to afford an ounce of silver now getting priced out of that market. You know, we very recently were selling 1 ounce silver coins at £40, and then it went to £50, and now at one point we were selling them 100 and something pounds. You know, so it's a huge increase, right? And people still want to be able to buy those products, to the point that we've started to see a demand for half-gram gold bars. And I know a couple of comments have mentioned it as well. And that is certainly something we trialed with last year. And we're looking to work with one of our particular suppliers to bring that into the market very, very soon. And then when you look at silver and then copper, now you're starting to see the demand go up. So end of October into November last year, we would normally be holding somewhere between 500 to 1,000 kilos per supplier of copper stock. And we started to see that trickle away a little bit. So we made little top-up orders as and when. And with the lack of communication coming in from the mints, we very quickly started to notice there was a snowball effect of copper orders. And whereas we would normally trigger a reorder at 500 or 250 kilos, depending on the supplier, we were starting to make multiple orders to maintain that stock, and then supply wasn't coming in because they were manufacturing other things, right? So we talked about the hierarchy of manufacture earlier. So they're making their gold, they're making their silver. They don't want to make copper because they're making gold and making silver, right?
Yeah.
So we started to see that demand increase just before Christmas, to the point I received around 1,000 kilos the week before Christmas, the week before Christmas cutoff. We received it on the Tuesday. The 1,000 kilos topped us up from zero, and that was gone by Thursday. So in 2 days, we saw 1,000 kilos of
wow
go. And that was a little bit concerning because that was our top-up order from October, and that was arriving in December. Then the new year kicked in, and we were starting to receive a lot of messages and interactions asking for copper products, and that increased quite dramatically into the new year, especially as we were starting to see silver and gold really ramp up their pricing. Copper was starting to follow suit. Although the copper price itself, the open market price, didn't move very much, it did have a little bit of an effect because of demand. So that has dramatically increased even since then. We receive normally monthly deliveries of between 500 and 1,000 kilos of copper per supplier every single month. We're now selling those deliveries in minutes, not days. The Heracles Cardiff Gold bars, the Heracles bars, Germania's first and second deliveries all sold in less than 3 minutes.
So it's a challenge in terms of let's keep the stock levels up. We've got to manage the demand, but it's also great for business. These products are flying off the shelves. It sounds like really popular. I've got to ask you though, just on the copper, Dan. So you mentioned in your role managing Cardiff Gold, you're heavily on the sales side, right? So if somebody comes in, footfall, walks into the store and says, hey, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, what would you recommend? How would you sell, if that's the way you approach copper? I just want to know where do you sit on that? And the reason that I'm asking you this is because we could talk all day about the benefits of holding some gold, low premium gold, hold for at least 5-10 years, and the same with silver. But how do you adapt that conversation when it comes to copper? Because you can't, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm no financial advisor, you can't sit there, and I'm sure you wouldn't, and say, now this is a great investment, because it's facts. It's not, unless something dramatic happens, it's not. So how do you explain that? Just in the sense of, this is what it's worth, melt value, spot price, and this is what we're selling it for, and this is what people are actually buying it for. Just kind of, if you can, make sense of that to me. And that's solely, people have different opinions. Some people are really protective of copper and love it. It's not about the price, and I get it. But I'm just asking, for me, it doesn't make sense. Apart from it, it's beautiful. But how do you adapt your conversation about copper to a customer?
I don't. I don't mean that in any kind of rude way, but copper is not a primary metal. It's not something that we class as an investment. It's a beautiful product made by fantastic mints. I own some myself. I had 5 kilobar, sorry, very early on when I started selling it. It's not an investment, not at this current time, right? And that's what the speculation is, and that's what's driving the demand is what's it going to become. So when you look at things like industry of electronics, computers, cars, aeroplanes, missiles, bombs, and you start to look then towards AI and supercomputers, we at Cardiff Gold use AI quite a lot. It's an extra, that's my personal assistant is Gemini. So it works, right? It helps a lot, and the vast majority of us use AI to just do general tasks, and maybe some fun videos and fun images. But when it comes to business application of AI, is unlimited, right? Unlimited. Whatever your imagination is, whatever you want to do, you can generally do it with a good AI connection, right?
Yeah, I think, Dan, in today's day and age, 2026, businesses that aren't utilizing the resource of AI and what it can do, its potential, are missing a trick, because, as you say, it's so useful and it's so efficient, it's so fast. It can answer questions, solve problems, prompt things, plan things, organize things. It really is great. So I completely understand why you use that. I appreciate the answer, by the way, on copper, and it makes sense. And for the copper lovers, guys, I've seen some comments just flicking through the chat when I was listening to Dan. I know there's some real strong lovers of copper, and look, I'll be the first to say it's stunning. But I have to say my piece on the investment side, okay? But I want to move on to silver quickly, because you mentioned kind of entry points, affordability, when you were talking about copper. Obviously, silver is down to the individual as to what's affordable. So everyone has their own budgets, but we spoke about the 1 ounce as that's kind of like probably the most popular, or has been the most popular with silver. 1 ounce of silver. If you're buying a 1 ounce Britannia, or if for the viewers that are in the US, you may be a fan of the American Silver Eagles, Canada Maples. The list goes on. But do you think that's changed now? I know we've seen this drop, this clawback. You sort of described it as a bit of a correction, even though you think it will push back a bit, go a bit higher. But I haven't seen, when I've looked on your website, I don't think the fractional stuff, and this is where I'm leading. Do you think fractional silver, despite, I'm going numbers again, premiums being very high on it, do you think that will become more popular, more realistic? And I'm talking about half ounces, quarter ounces, 1/10, which are getting spoken about more and more as we see silver go up. What are your thoughts on that with silver?
Absolutely. I think for sure we're going to see fractionals. We're starting to push that way with gold. We're starting to see a lot more tenths, quarters, halves on the Britannia front. We're starting to see half-ounce gold bars. Half-gram gold bars. We're starting to see these. We'll talk about obviously the Germania launches of the 100th and 200th bars, and then you've got the likes of Goldbacks. Very interesting product. Same as Valorum. Very, very interesting products. What I have noticed, and I'm absolutely over the moon to see it and to be part of it to a degree, is the people like Silverpunk and Vlooey really, really coming out of themselves. Silverpunk makes some art pieces that are sensational. The stuff he sent me is honestly. I've got, obviously he's gifted to me 2 pieces, one with me on it, and the other an art piece. Yeah, and then he made me an art piece for a video a long time back. They're on my shelf. They're beautiful. I look at them every day. And then you've got Vlooey. The creativity within Vlooey and the guys at Vlooey, honestly, absolutely perfect products. And then you've got opportunities now for the likes of GSH and his copper product.
I've got a GSH piece here, sorry, but
have you got one there?
5 kilos of brass, so I can't move it.
He's Yeah, I think you're probably going to start to see creators, really good, homemade, genuine people put their expression into precious metals, and that I think, and I hope with all my heart that these guys take up a piece of that market, of that fractional sort of out there sort of work. And sorry, Silver Point's actually popped up in my comments feed as well now. So you know, and GSH is following straight behind. So hi guys. You know, these guys are insane. You know, Silverpunk, his art, obviously, him and Liquid Metals were my sort of first interactions with that side of the market, and then obviously Vlui and GSH come along very, very quietly behind them, and sensational products, and I can't wait to get more into my store. They don't last long, but we need to get them in. The other side of it as well is I think we're going to start to see a little bit more from places like Primus, who make those little gold gifts, the fractionals, the thousands and 2000s. I think we're going to see a little bit more stuff from Valorum and Goldbacks. You know, there's some complexities around Goldbacks and Valorum, and especially with the prices and the margins, but you know, they're heavily manufactured products, so you know, I'll dare say that those product prices will start to come down as demand goes up. But it's the whole world is opening up, right, especially for that smaller creator.
Yeah, and as you can see, I was sort of quickly grabbing pieces that are right in front of me in my backdrop from the likes of Silverpunk. Incredible work. I have many a piece of Silverpunks for Louis Silver, Liquid Metals, GSH. The list goes on. There's so many incredibly talented pourers and people in the space. And I want to give a mention as well. It's not metal, but Nerd UK with the 3D printed boxes. Absolutely incredible job. I've got one right here. And here is the... if I open it, I guarantee that the piece will fall out. I've got a nickname, Butterfingers. I'm terrible, but beautiful stack of social 3D printed boxes and so many more. So that it's so great that we have all these. Oh, something's come up. What's this? And it threw me off because I'm not used to this setup. It just went really green in my face. Thank you so much to Vegas Stacker, who sent 5 memberships as a gift. Wow. Thank you so much, Vegas Stacker. That's very kind. And that looks like Shiny Silver, Cider Salmon, 365 Days of Silver, and Robot Toaster and Jonathan Herbert have all received membership. So, yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. Sorry, Dan, I completely cut you off, but this massive green thing came up on my screen. It shows different on StreamYard. So I was like, what is this?
Yeah, wow. Pops the screen for me there as well. So that was quite cool.
Yeah, but look, what we were saying, the pourers, I love that. And I know last time that you came on the podcast, we had a really good conversation. And I was kind of asking about you personally and stacking, collecting. And I remember specifically you told me that you're a stacker, investor of gold. When it comes to silver, you're more of a collector. I think that's what you said. And that's why a lot of the silver that you choose to buy for your own collection is, you know, seeing a super chat. But with yours, it's I've lost my train of thought. It's just everything's going mad. But with yours, it is the artwork. It is the, you know, there's one unique pieces that you choose to collect rather than maybe Britannia's and Bullion. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely. I'm notorious for things that come into the shop that are shiny. So everything, when it's bought in, it goes through at least 3 members of staff before it goes back out on the shelf, so that we really catch anything that maybe not quite correct. And I'm notorious for being in the middle of that and just picking off bits as it comes through. You know, some of the creators, let's pick on Bluey again. I see Bluey quite often. They're not too far from me. And sorry, there's a lot of super chats going on.
I know. I don't want to interrupt you because I'm loving this. I'm gonna have these yellow things. Let's just shout these out, right? 2 legends. Thank you so much. Dan can see them as well. There's all these notifications. There's all these Light 365 Days of Silver, I refer to as the godfather of stacking, who said Vegas made me do it. $9.99, 365. Thank you so much, mate. Always supporting. I really do appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. And Vegas, if I find out this is true, don't be bullying people to do super chats. And this is like a chain event because Cy the Sound Man with £10. Thank you, Cy. Who said 365 said I had to. What's going on? I don't know what's going on, but that's unbelievable. I really appreciate that, guys. And Dan, I'm so you could probably see as you were talking, I was just there like I went like that. I was like, no, what's going on? Can I speak?
Yeah, it's pink
Yeah.
orange on my side, yeah, a yellowy orange. So these creators, so clever. I chat with Louis quite often, and some of the ideas that come out, and I can't wait to work a little bit more with them. I know I chat to Silverpunk quite often as well, and GSH as well. So we're getting there. I'm not sure I can advertise Nerds products so much, obviously, because they need to come with something for me. But he made me an action figure of me, and it's on my shelf. And as soon as you walk into the shop, obviously my office is just off to the side of it, and my shelf is in full view now. And everyone comments on my action figure, and it is so cool. I love it.
I have seen that.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So clever, right? Clever.
Yeah, am I right in saying, because you made a video of this, but the action figure, is it holding a little gold bar? That's from memory. I've definitely seen. Is that right?
Yeah, it's holding a little 100-gram gold bar, and it magnets onto my hand, which is really, really clever.
Amazing.
Yeah. We were laughing about it the other day because Jake and I played Jenga with some 100-gram gold bars a couple of years ago, and we made a video about it. And it always brings back that memory for some. I don't know why, but we connect that 100-gram gold bar to the Jenga video. So
I'd love to take this opportunity here to say, Dan, that obviously first and foremost, Cardiff Gold is a business, but the character and the personality that you and the team that you have bring to the content, I absolutely love. And you mentioned Jake. I think when I first, because I've been stacking a year, I've been in this space for a year. When I first sort of come across your content, obviously Stacker Social and different things, I remember plenty of videos where you'd be speaking about something usually important in the office, and then there could be a gold bar, and Jake would always sneak away with it.
Hilarious. At first, it started out because I'm obviously concentrating on making the content, and at first he would sneak things out, and I wouldn't notice until after the video that he'd
where's it gone?
He'd done a runner, but now, he's a little bit more behaved. To be fair, Jake, who's been with me sort of 5 or so years, 4 or 5 years, a great guy, wicked sense of humor. But he's obviously running around. So the marketing team, Harriet, and then obviously now Lucy, have kind of taken over his stuff a little bit. So he's frustrated in the back room trying to solve a lot of problems. But we'll see him soon on the video. But he does he does put himself out there as a bit of a pirate, and
he's infamous. And he's a legendary character on the Cardiff Gold YouTube channel. And guys, just want to let you know as well that, if you are not subscribed to the Cardiff Gold YouTube channel, it is, I believe, and I've had to read this, it's something you have to do, under section 32.8, as Cy once pointed out to me, in the Stackers Social Rulebook, it is a crime to not be subscribed to Cardiff Gold on YouTube. So there we go, folks. But Dan, once again, as you were talking, and we're going to move, the chat we're going to move, oh my God, what's going on? We're going to move to the chat because I want guys in the chat. I'm going to read these super chats because there seems to be sort of chain going on. I don't know what's going on, but have a think, because I've been a little bit selfish and asked Dan loads of questions, but we want to know, what are your questions for Dan? Ask anything you want. Keep it respectful, of course, and I will start reading them shortly. But let's see, Dan, what's going on here? So, yeah, this is a chain of events. So, East End Dave, Brits and Sovs, who I've got a little announcement about shortly, but Brits and Sovs, who sent me this beautiful custom-made Liquid Metals UK Stacker Social Round, Brits and Sov. Sorry if it's not that clear. But yeah, Brits and Sov says, Sai made me do it with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, mate. And you know what I'll do? Now we're on it. I will quickly do that announcement because I have some very exciting news, guys. And if you don't know, I'm sure you do, East End Dave, Brits and Sovs, if you don't know who that is, he has a fantastic channel. Honestly, Dan, you're nodding your head. I'm sure you've seen it. His videos are literally hilarious. It's very unique and it's different to what I see in this space. So it's really refreshing. And currently, last time I checked, he has a very quickly growing channel and he's just below 850 subscribers. However, he is going to be doing, and this is massive, a giveaway for 1,000 subscribers. Now, guys, Brits and Sovs himself has sent me some pictures of what is being given away. He already has them, and it's not one, it's not two, it's not three, it's not four. He's giving away 5 things when he hits 1,000 subscribers. And the reason I mention this, I am going to be, it's an honor, I'm going to be hosting the giveaway live here on Sundays with Craven when he hits that 1,000. So guys, go over to Brits and Sovs. If somebody could really kindly, it's usually a BBA or someone, the People's Champion, put Brits and Sovs link in the chat. And anyone that isn't, at least go over there and check out his content because I guarantee you'll watch the video, you'll want to subscribe. He's a legend. So yeah, Brits and Sovs, thank you so much for the super chat. I wanted to just mention that there. So Dan, before we go to the chat, there is more. There is more coming through, guys. What's going on? Silver Punk Paul, who we just spoke about, does incredible work, who says, £4.99, Sai made me do it. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Silver Punk, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate that. And let me just quickly showcase here. I'm always showing this off, Dan. You love a custom piece with silver. I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd. I don't know if you are. I love it. First piece I ever got from Silver Punk. This is Lurtz from the Fellowship of the Ring. And the lighting's not that good. I've messed my setup up, but it's absolutely stunning. And yeah, I really love that piece. So Silver Punk, I cherish that and so many other things that you've done. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you for the super chat. And I can see one more. Here's it. The Humble Stacker, $5. Thank you so much. Twisted arm. Ouch. Who's twisting your arm and making you do that? Honestly, Dan sat here thinking, look, I want to answer questions. I want to talk about Cardiff Gold. What's going on? You already made me wait 15 minutes because of your technical issues. And now this. Dan, I am sorry, but the guys are just sending these in. Humble Stacker, you are a legend. Thank you. And, if I skip this one, Dan, I will be in a lot of trouble. This has come through from my better half, always supporting me. Miss Stacking with Craven. £5 super chat. Craven made me do it. Send me the $5 back later. I didn't. I've been here the whole time, guys. Right.
What's this about a ring? We gotta ask you now. It's time to flip around and ask you questions.
No,
better be a ring.
No. I am the host. That's not how this works. I just had like a gasp of like, I've caught up with the chat and I heard you mention ring. All the chat is just rings. Guys. Brilliant.
With all these super chats, it's gotta have to be a big ring. It's gonna have to be a big diamond on there.
I mean, do Cardiff Gold stop gold rings at all?
No.
No.
No. Oh, God. Yeah, you're on your own with that one. Sorry.
Well, there we go. I mean, I have this ring, but this was a gift to me of a friend of mine, Gary, who runs what's called the Coin Exchange. It's very local to me, and he gave me this ring and said, give it to Miss Craven. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit her, but this is made of sterling silver, despite the colour. It is sterling silver, 95. And it's not a sovereign, guys, but it does have that St. George of the Dragon. I know it's a bit blurry, sorry. Lighting's terrible. George of the Dragon, but it's a nice little ring. But she wasn't settling for that, so I'll have to save up and buy less silver, save up for a ring. You know how it is, you know? Honestly. But yeah, guys, I can see all these rings in the chat. So... And I mean, there is lots of rings. So thank you for that. That's great. But I'm looking to see some questions here now. This is a Q&A section for Dan. And just to mention as well, whilst you're putting your questions in, I love to see the questions. We are running a giveaway this evening, and it's a special one. So before I mention what's in mine, because I'll come to that and show you that maybe in a little bit, Dan, you have been incredibly generous. I was very surprised when you responded on message to me privately and showed me what you wanted to give away. If you didn't know, guys, for those that are maybe watching the stream and didn't see, would you like to explain what you are putting in for a lucky winner this evening, Dan? Very generous. What would that be?
I am putting in the new proof fractional gold bars from Germania Mint. So the not the smallest ones, but yeah, they're very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Yeah, can't wait, actually. A little bit excited. A little bit excited.
Me too. We're going to be doing it a little bit differently. The people who are in the giveaway has already been set, guys. I did do posts throughout the last few days, and people have entered. Channel members, people part of the Crackers Club, thank you so much. You're in automatically, and other people have entered through a post. The magic phrase was knickknacks, and I gave also everyone an opportunity, if I missed your name on the list, to come in. A couple did, and I missed. They're in there. But what I have done for later, just to tease guys, I have all those names basically, like this. Just spilt the drink everywhere, like that. And I will ask you. God. I will ask you for a number. I'll pull that many out, and then I'll ask you which one. And I don't know which. They're all the same. Whoever gets it is going to win a 1/100th Germania Mint gold bar. Is that right? It's 1/100th of an ounce.
1/100th of an ounce. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in the black packaging, the big black packaging, and the proof finish ones. Yeah. Yeah. Very beautiful.
Lovely, lovely stuff. And on top of that, guys, there is more than that. I've got a Cardiff Gold Care package, 1 of 10, which Dan very kindly sent me. And of course, every week, yeah, don't get me started on those pens. When it comes to doing, I love those pens. But I've also got the community stuff as well, guys. Loads of poker chip stickers, you name it. But we'll come to that towards the end. I want to see some questions, so I'm going to have a look at the chat as I just wipe my leg, because I don't know if you heard that, but my this was half full, right? So when I sort of knocked that over, but never mind. It's only Vimto.
Sorry, Mrs. Craven. Seems to be Mrs. Craven.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Miss Craven. I don't know, guys.
I just saw a comment. Where's the socks? That is going to live in Cardiff Gold history forever. Where's the socks? Yeah, that creases me every time. I might actually have to do that. I might have maybe Christmas time, just get a load of Cardiff Gold socks.
I am telling you now, if there's like some way you're doing like limited edition Cardiff Gold socks, yeah. I will be on the waiting list for that. 100%.
Proof finish box. We'll add like 10 times the price just because there's a box and a certificate, and we'll be away.
4/9's fine. Socks, I love it. Honestly, I absolutely love it. So, Dan, I can see some questions coming in. I was just negating through all the rings and stuff and making sure I didn't miss any, I don't think. So first one, as we go through, and keep putting them in, guys. I will whiz through. We'll see how many Dan wants to answer, because there should be loads coming through here. Shiny Silver. Question for Dan, the Cardiff man. Will you be getting any silver neck? I'll restart. I thought it said necklace. Will you be getting any silver knickknacks in? If so, asking for a friend. That's a joke about me. But yeah, so you getting any silver knickknacks in?
Plan for the next sort of 12, maybe 24 months with Cardiff Gold is to go back to basics. So we're not going to really start to look for anything out there or anything crazy. We're going to get the basics back and right. We're going to stock more silver coins. We're going to drive down our gold price as best as we can. It's a really tight market. And then maybe a little bit more of a copper offering, just to settle some of that demand. I know Germania are starting to release some new copper products. How many of those we'll stock, I'm not sure. I'm not particularly keen on copper rounds. Sorry, no. But we will certainly look at things like fractional silver. and just go back to basics. Get the basics right.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. I mentioned before, just quickly, because I know people have got questions, but I had a look through the website. Do you currently stock fractional or not at the moment? Silver.
Not on silver. No. Largely, we did experiment with Geiger back last year, offering the 1 gram, 5 gram, 10 gram, and 20 gram bars that they offer in that really good case. I'm sure if
they
you
are
saw.
nice.
Yeah. We yeah, maybe I don't know. We'll see. What bugs me, to be honest, is pricing, and we need to get that pricing really nailed down. I don't want to be that dealer that really charges for charging's sake. That's not what we are or who we are, or what we want to be. So yeah, if the price is right and I can offer it at a good rate, then yes, definitely.
That's a fair answer. And it makes sense because especially on the fractional stuff, as I said, guys, there's larger premiums, but it's very refreshing to hear that from your side, that if you would have to charge a really high price, it would almost put you off selling that product because you want it to be fair on both sides. So really good answer. Loads of questions. So I'll start to read these quicker and it gets exciting. The first few questions are normally like serious, but there might be some crazy ones. So Dan, I'm just going to whiz through, and here we go. So Side the Soundman says, stacking with Craven. Question for Dan: what is worse, a customer who knows nothing about gold, or one who thinks they know everything?
Hi, Sai. I love Sai. He is literally a brother from another mother, with a better beard than me, sadly. The quick short answer to that is a customer who has a little bit of knowledge from the wrong places, and we try to guide but not advise people in the right direction, but sometimes you can see them making a mistake and there's not really much that we can do.
There you go. I'm not going to challenge you or do follow-up questions now. I've had my turn, so there's the answer, guys. Vegas Stacker says, Dan, do you believe in the silver shortage narrative?
No, absolutely not. Rubbish. There is not a shortage of metals, just a delay in getting them to you. Absolute rubbish. I might get assassinated for this, but no, there is no shortage of metals. They just delayed, and the delay was quite simple, a little bit controversial, but Donald Trump decided to put a tariff on anything over 1 kilo of gold. So they started making the 12 kilos into 1 kilos, and then he went, it's all right, don't worry about it, I forgive you. And then they're putting the kilos back into 12 kilos. So there's a bit of a delay. But we're caught up now, I think. Our stock levels for sure are back where they should be.
Yeah, well, it doesn't stop some people. I won't say names, but if you go on YouTube for long enough in this space, you'll see a big fancy red thumbnail with silver, black and white, red line through it saying, there's none left, buy now. What would you say to those people, Dan?
I got plenty in stock. Come get it. You let me know. I might, I've got almost every size in stock. If I haven't got it in stock, it's on sort of a week to 10 days delivery at worst. So not a problem.
Yeah. Right. So CL4 Hordian, thank you for putting the question in. Question / more like a request. Could I arrange a day or two to volunteer at the shop? Would love to see how it works. Plan to do the same with Cobra and affordable bullion. That's interesting. There you go. Some volunteer work. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
No.
He wants to be in the back where the gold stopped, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Clean the assay cards.
No, sorry. We vet our staff quite heavily. The recruitment process is largely based on personality and fitting into my team. Because we're such a small team, everyone has to get on really, really well. We live together basically. So I live at work and I visit my house. So yeah, sorry, but you're more than welcome to visit us, and we can have a chat and a coffee.
There you go, CL4. I asked for you. I tried my best, but it does make sense. But there we go. Good question either way. So Jonathan Herbert says, Dan, Cardiff Gold, will you ever offer buy 12? Will you ever offer? Maybe it's just the way it's written. Will you ever buy 12 times 1 gram bars over 12 months? Get one. Oh, right. Okay. So he's asking, will Cardiff Gold ever do something similar to what Tabex do? Buy 1 gram bars for 12 months, get the 13th one free. Just the way I read it, maybe, yeah. But will you ever do anything like that?
For me, things like that can come over as a little bit gimmicky. I'd rather just drop my price on the 12 that you buy or 13 that you buy, and just try and drive that down as best I can. Like I said, small business, so there's only limited, what I can do, but I'd rather stay away from offers and gimmicks and just try and drive my price down.
Yeah, that's very fair. Nemo says Butterfingers. Yes, that would be me. Knocking everything over, dropping everything. Oh, where are we? Let's just skip to the bottom. There's loads. Right, there we are. Yeah, Shiny, sorry, mate. I did put the giveaway post up to those that saw it. Congratulations. If you missed it, yeah, sorry. Bear with me, Dan. I don't know what I've pressed. We've had enough technical issues for one day. I'm just scrolling back up. It's kicked me to the bottom of the chat because there's loads of new things coming through. I need to find, where's Butterfingers? There it is. Right, where's the next question? Where is it? Right, the next one I can see is from the Humble Stacker. Question for Dan, which is your favorite mint and why? And that's a difficult question to ask a bullion dealer, because really, you got to be careful what you say. For your personal collection, what is your favorite mint?
So, knowing for sure that some of my suppliers are actually watching this stream, I know some of my colleagues are in here as well. So, for me, for what I do and how I do it with Cardiff, Metal are definitely my favorite supplier or mint as such. However, they are the simplistic of products, right? It's raw, as cheap as you can possibly go, gold and silver. When it comes to creativity, Germania Mint. Simon and his team are absolutely incredible in their quest to find the best products, and their quality is superb. So yeah, more with Cardiff Gold and Germania Mint is coming.
That's good to know. And yeah, Cardiff Germania Mint have some really stunning high detail designs that are just incredible, and they keep bringing out more. Copper Socks ... says Scottish Bullion Collector. A lot of mentions of socks, and just as a side note here, guys, I am not joking. Never mind on this podcast. Before we went live, and I was messaging Dan privately, just mentioning what I'd like to go through and stuff, I genuinely did ask you about socks. Before, I've not spoken to you since the last podcast, really, and I threw socks in within the first 20 minutes.
Funnily enough, the guys Tash and Harriet particularly were talking to me about socks and t-shirts, and having a Hey Dan t-shirt came up a couple of times, and I thought that was quite a good idea. Yeah. We will start a little side gig of Dan t-shirts and Harriet socks.
On the Hey Dan one, because you've got, obviously, within Stacker Social, you've got your own emoji, which is effectively your face, and people use that to react to comments. You could have that on a t-shirt or the socks near the ankle. That would, it would be a sellout. We talk about supply and demand with metals. I am telling you now, those Cardiff Gold socks will fly off the shelf, and people in the chat are waiting for them. So we spoke about this last time you came on. We'll mention it now, but we'll keep pushing down until we get there, okay?
It would be kind of weird to see people wearing my face on the shirt.
I would. Silverpunks put very bluntly, make sure you send an email out about the socks, Dan. Okay? Serious stuff.
Very serious stuff.
I'm just scrolling through. Sorry, there's loads of comments about socks. Queen Nessie, question for Dan: Will there be sweets with the socks? Oh, I didn't realize it was about socks. Will there be sweets? Do you ever do Cardiff Gold sweets?
That's a really good idea, actually. I think it was Amit actually brought up the idea of little gold chocolate bars, but I think another mint done that in Berlin at one point. Maybe Sai or Stack Collector will know that one. But Cardiff Gold Sweets. Good idea.
There we go. Food for thought, guy. Keep putting the ideas in. If you know,
Welsh flavored sweets or something. Yeah?
Sweets, guys, socks. If you have any suggestions for a new Cardiff Gold product, keep buying them in. I'd love to see it. Right, there is a list of questions, so I'll go back into whiz mode now. So, Glass Veil Bullion says, question for Dan, as there seems to be big differences sometimes, how do dealers decide the retail price of silver products?
So our policy, and I think this is quite evident in our pricing, is we obviously we can't take on the big boys. There's 7 of us, 8 of us in the company. We can't do it, right? So our buying power isn't there. Our capabilities are not there yet. So we try to chase the tails a little bit, but we try to be as cheap as we can. It offends me if I'm more expensive than Bullion by Post or the Royal Mint. So if ever that's the case, let me know and I will correct that immediately. we don't like that. I
think you'll be okay.
Yeah, but we try and be as close to the big guys as we can possibly be. We try and be as competitive as we can. Sometimes we can beat them, and if we can beat them, we will. But it's really tight. It's really hard.
It's a volume market, right? So these products are going out. You talk about copper, thousands, and you get more orders in multiple times weekly. It's such fine margins. So it's you've got to do what you can. You've got to look after the business. But in the future, as Cardiff Gold grows.
Yeah, and it's growing quite dramatically. So yeah,
there we go. That's what we like to hear. Right. I did open up the chat to any questions. I didn't specify they had to be precious metals. So I don't know if you can see the chat, Dan. So I'm going to ask you, because I do ask them all. Sometimes I start reading it out before I've looked at it. But Robot Toaster, I will name and shame you for this question. When is the Cardiff Gold Mankini being released?
I'm sorry, you're a little bit behind. We have Mankinis and morph suits in place already. That's why you're not allowed to see Jake on camera, I'm afraid. He's permanently in a Mankini. I don't think anyone would actually want to see me in a Mankini. Yeah, maybe the girls, I don't know, but I don't know. I'll ask them when I see them Monday. I'll ask the girls if they want to see us in a Mankini.
Brilliant question. We have a more normal question coming up for you now. Okay. Glad to know. Israeli Coins, thank you for putting the question in. Question 4, Dan. What was the price of your very first ounce of silver, and when was that? So this is personal to you.
Okay. So casting mine back many years ago, I think it was the Greece financial crisis where I picked up 3 silver Britannias, and I think my retail the retail I paid was probably low 20s on silver particularly, but I'm not a huge silver guy. I pick up pieces that I like and I pay a premium for that. I try and sneak in with my own personal details so that the creators don't see it's me, but I've been caught by all of them so far. So
no, fair enough. And you have mentioned a few times that it's more gold for you personally, as a stacker, and it makes sense as to why. So moving on, good question. Team of Fluff, question for Dan. Do you think silver stacking will ever be as popular in the UK as it is in the States?
Not with silver, I don't think. And I think there's the number one reason for that, I think, is VAT. VAT is a big hit on the UK and the European market. I think it's a bit unfair. It doesn't need to be as high as it is. I think once that is addressed as such. Maybe not a removal, but certainly a reduction of VAT for silver products. Then then we'll catch up, right? And if you've ever been to the States, you'll notice there's a big difference, big difference, especially in premiums and the like.
Yeah, I'm rather jealous. Shout out to all of you. You know who you are. I have friends in the space who are across the pond in the US. You go to your what you call the LCS, local coin store, and on occasion what you call constitutional junk silver over there in the US. You've got your Morgan dollars, your Peace dollars, dimes, all of that good stuff. Sometimes you are buying that for less than spot, and that is honestly unheard of over here in the UK. So you're very lucky, and that relates to what Dan said about why silver maybe isn't as popular, but let's be honest, there is still a lot of interest, at least within this small, tight-knit community that we have, and we do enjoy it. So there are some of us out here, but yeah, definitely bigger in the US, like Dan said, and it makes sense as to why with some of the prices out there. So, right, Nerd UK, thank you for the comment, mate. Question for Dan: will there be any more Stackers Social rounds?
Ooh, right. So Stackers Social rounds. I'm sure everyone here is aware that I'm a big fan of the Stackers Social community. I'll do anything I possibly can for the guys, and I've been there almost since day 1 or 2, right? As Dan initially, and then I revealed my identity quite early on, and we went from there. Stackers Social products for me are a labor of my heart, shall we say? And the last project did not go as I had planned and as I had hoped. The little bars were very, very beautiful, but they didn't quite hit the mark for me. So I'm going to put a few more things in place, adjust a few more things around before I release my next product there. So nothing to announce as such yet, but there's a few ideas floating around, but not for the moment.
Okay, I won't push you on that. It's all behind the scenes, and I guess time will tell. I'm looking forward to find out what you come up with. So there's that one. Zeus says, question: what watches are you both wearing? I'm sorry to let you down, Zeus. I'm not wearing a watch today. Dan, are you wearing a watch?
I'm not actually. I took it off.
I normally do.
My go-to watch, if it's not my my moon swatch, obviously in store we do offer some Rolexes. So I will treat myself and wear a Rolex. I've been wearing a Panda, I think they call it, Rolex Daytona. So yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
but they come in and out. We swap them around quite often. But I also make my own watches as a bit of a hobby.
Really,
I find it quite relaxing to put them together, and I put some headphones on and away I go. So every now and then I've had to take them off to be on camera, but every now and then I'll wear my own made watch. So that's quite nice.
Now, sorry to do this, Dan. You probably feel completely interrogated whenever you come on, but we spoke about socks. We've even spoke about silver knickknacks. But what could we see in the future? Handmade Dan watches, Cardiff Gold or Stackers Social on the face. Could we see that?
Yeah, so Jake and I have talked through this as a bit of a business idea, and we've come up with a brand that is very unique. And we're thinking maybe Danlex.
No, I was following you dead seriously then. That was a joke, right?
Yeah, it's a big joke. Yeah, it's just something I enjoy. Like nerds, I enjoy printing my. I've started printing my own watches, my watch cases and parts, and it's good. It's good fun. It's good. It's relaxing, right? Everyone needs a decompress. I can sometimes work quite a few weeks in a row, but I like. Sundays can be just as busy as Mondays, right? So I try and just take some time with the family. We enjoy going to the cinema, and like all the other silver and gold nerds, I enjoy little nerdy hobbies as well. So I quite enjoy putting a watch together.
We've all got to have those things to wind down with and just relax. I think that's important, and it's nice to know these things about you as well, Dan. It's learning something new every single time that we speak, which is nice. Right, there is more here. So Cy the Soundman says, question for Dan. So if I'm a bit behind on the chat, sorry guys, the questions come through, we speak, so the chat falls a bit behind where we are in the conversation, or the other way around. But Cy the Soundman did put, question for Dan. I love you too, mate. If you had a hidden camera show of your shop, would it be a comedy, a drama, or a full-blown documentary on human delusion?
So Sai knows the answer to that question, and that might be a little bit leading. So to answer that question, I have to talk about my team, right? And my team is an incredible bunch of people with the darkest humor known to man. Okay, my team is largely ladies, and they torture me and Jake and Amit just as much as we torture them. But we have a very unique sense of humor, which would probably get us in a bit of trouble if it was broadcast on TV. It wouldn't be allowed on BBC for sure. But Tash likes a good old conspiracy theory, and we like to tease her for it. Sylvia is actually from France, so we like to make sure she's reminded of that every few moments. It would definitely be an entertainment, that's for sure. I don't know if you know, they nearly made a TV program on us a couple of years back. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a couple of years back. There's a promo somewhere, but it's really embarrassing, and I haven't got a beard.
Well, there you go. I was going to ask my own little add-on to Sai's question, which is amazing, by the way. I love that, Sai. If there was that sort of hidden camera show, what would the TV show be called for Cardiff Gold?
Ooh, gosh. I don't think it would make TV, to be honest. It would be banned. I don't. I'll have to think about that one and come back to you on that one. That's
fair. I put you on the spot there, so
that one's I think I might need to be a team answer on that one. So
okay, well, there's plenty of other questions I can distract you with in the meantime. We're going to go through a few more here for sure. So shiny silver. Question for Dan. If you could design your own commemorative silver 50p, what picture / design would you choose to put on it? Good question.
Sorry, who asked that question?
Shiny silver.
Shiny silver. Shiny silver. Do you know there is a coin going around right now that may or may not have been released to the public. So if you know, you know. So there is a Dan 50 pence floating around.
Where can we see that?
There's a picture of Dan made by AI as a superhero on the back of a 50p, which has vanished from my office.
It's floating around. I'd love to.
If you knew that, that's quite a good. You put me up to that one. Well done.
That's good. 365 Days of Silver says, question for Dan, do you have any beard advice for Craven? To be fair, when we're next to each other like this, it's a no contest. You've won every round. You could destroy me on the beard game.
Just keep going. Is the advice. I take a bit of pride in my beard. I quite.
It's impressive. I mean, I did have a clean shave before coming on this podcast. Wanted to look as smart as possible, but the actual beard itself, I mean, I can grow this out more, but it just, it works for you, the length. It doesn't quite work the same for me. I don't know. I kind of keep it to this all year round. But there we go.
You gotta have a bit of beard oil and butter as well, right?
Yeah, I should apply that more, to be honest. But that's a conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
But
backstage.
You never know what's going to come up in this chat. Do we have any more guys? Because we're going to get closer to running this giveaway. We want to find out who has won the big prize. Stephen Coulter with a question. Yeah. I only started stacking in December. What would you say is the best value for money silver? Buy an ounce when you can, or save for bigger ounces or bigger sizes of silver?
Right. So this is a very, very common and very key question in our industry. So you should go to the maximum of your affordability when funds allow, where you are not borrowing. You should never borrow to buy precious metals, and where you don't need to reuse that money in the medium to long term. So if you have the affordability of, let's say, £1,000 at the moment, then you may need to dip into that maybe as an emergency fund. Then that's probably not for you. Ounces in silver are perfect, right? Especially if you're new. You can see the ounce price on most bullion retailers' websites or on most price tickers, so you kind of get a good sort of indication of its value. However, if that's outside of your disposable income, then go smaller. If bigger is an option for you, so if you can go up to 50 grams, maybe, or even 100 grams, to 50 grams, all the way up, then, and you're not going to miss that money, then you're going to get a better price at a kilo, for instance. You're going to get a better price per gram. So be careful, be conscious of the price movements, and don't fall for FOMO.
Absolutely, and I second that at the end, because there's a lot of FOMO, a lot of hype. Really, really good answer. Something I've been thinking about recently. My plan for this year, Dan, with silver is, in a nutshell, what you've just said: buy what I can, when I can, on a consistent basis. Slow and steady wins the race, and keeping it affordable also prevents you from having to sell in the future. It doesn't, you can very easily go in too hard and then cause problems further down the line. So yeah, I really like that answer from you, and really great question as well from guys in the chat. Tallywood 56, question for Dan: what's your favorite coin of all time?
So this actually changed quite recently, because up until recently I loved Morgan dollars. I certainly like Britannias, because obviously I make my living with them. I love the buffalo or bison, depending on who you speak to. The American coins are very, very beautiful. However, I have finally got my Grail coin, which is a proof PF70 graded coin of a sovereign of the year I was born, and I've only ever seen 3 in my entire life. This is the first PF70 I've seen, so I snapped it up straight away. So
nice.
Yeah.
So that would be what, 2001, 2002?
Yeah, no. I'm a rare year, actually, when it comes to sovereigns. So it's quite difficult to get them in proofs for my year, but yeah, quite difficult to get. Yeah, really, really nice. Yeah,
nice. I want to say massive thank you quickly to Crispy Shiny Things. Thank you. You've joined Craven's Crackers Club. I really appreciate the support. It just came up on my screen, so thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate the support, Crispy. So yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, good answer, Dan, about the favorite coin. I think everyone has a favorite. I'm going to show you something. I don't know if you've seen this. Now, it's just quickly, guys. I just want to show you this. So you will know, I'm sure at some point I've mentioned that I do like Little John as a coin, as a character, and he's played a big part in my journey. But I received this as a gift. I wasn't aware that it existed. There are different forms of Little John, but this one I believe is called the Burning Forest. And this was gifted to me when I hit a subscriber milestone. Sorry about the light, guys. By no other than 365 Days of Silver. I don't want to take it out the capsule. It's airtight. Never have. Sorry about the reflection. But yeah, Little John colorized. And it's also got an antiqued finish there as well. What do you think of that? I'd say that's my favorite.
That's your favorite? Yeah, definitely. Really, really nice.
And I don't normally like colorized. I don't buy colorized. I like it. I just like the look of silver. But that particular one, it's stunning. So
it's the meaning, right? It's the meaning behind the coin, largely. I've got a very, very nice Ghostbusters coin that's colorized, and that's beautiful. But there's meaning behind it as well. It's certainly in my top 5 coins that I own. But that new one, that new sovereign is amazing. I just picked it up just before Christmas as well, so it was really, really nice. A little gift to myself.
You've got to do that sometimes. You've got to treat yourself. Whilst I'm looking for the next question, Dan, I'm going to ask you a quick one. It's only quick fire. Britannias or sovereigns for gold? Britannia,
every time.
I had a feeling you'd say that. Pure gold.
Pure gold, easier.
Yeah. Guys, do you know what I love? Everyone in the chat is just having a great conversation with themselves. I'm looking for questions, but everyone's just saying hello. Hello. I love it, guys. I love that you're so active in here. It is great to see. Silver Serpents, hello. I see you put in there, Craven. What have we got? Everyone's saying hello to Ian. Hi, Ian. What's going on? Silver Serpent says, I got my first PF70 last month, a US state quarter from New Mexico. Nice. I don't have any graded. I had a graded peace dollar at one point, which I just won, so I sold it. I think it was I don't know what grading company it was, but it was a 66 or something peace dollar. But yeah, really, really nice. But I mean, do you think it's worth grading coins? Is that what's your stance on that?
When you start going into old coins, right? It's difficult to get that perfect grade. It's very nice to protect them, and this is the same with Pokemon cards. I think everyone in this world is also aware, obviously, of Pokemon cards. But sometimes it's nice to protect the card, so get it graded, not care about the grade, but to get it protected. And I see that quite often now with some of the older coins, but. I don't know if you or the guys know this, but when we buy in sovereigns, we don't differentiate between graded proof, because we can't authenticate anything, or we can't tell you for sure if that proof's been touched or handled or stored correctly. So we buy everything in as a let's say, for instance, a sovereign. So we actually sell them out at the same. So there have been a few occasions that someone has received probably a PF70 grade of sovereign just by buying bullion prices. So Potluck. I know for sure I've sent out a PF70 sovereign at one point. So
wow,
that's same for Britannias, same for American Eagles, Buffaloes. We buy them based on the gold as such, right? So the
metal.
The grade doesn't really mean much to us.
That's interesting. I think we've got a few more questions, Dan, if that's okay. And then I want to move on to the giveaway. I'm dying to see who's going to win it. And you mentioned Pokemon cards. Do you by any chance? And the reflection is awful. I'm so sorry, guys. Do you have this Pokemon card?
I do indeed. I'm not as socially active or social media active as sometimes I would like to be, or certainly was before. So every now and then I catch wind of a new thing, and I had a bit of a stamp my feet moment and said, well, where's mine? So 365 sent me a great big box of poker chips. There was some coasters in there, and I had my Pokemon card, which is really, really cool.
I love that.
I'm a Pokemon fan, right? I've been collecting Pokemon for quite a while, and you can see in my house, I've got a nice display of my graded cards. So yeah, nice.
I love that, by the way. I felt the aggression when you said mine. Where's mine?
Yeah.
It's serious business. Right, last few questions, guys, for Dan. you've been a real good sport, Dan. So thank you for answering all these questions, and thank you to everyone that is putting these questions in. It's great conversation. Some really fun ones, some more formal and what you'd expect, but there's always a good mix. So 365 Days of Silver, we sort of touched on this, but I think the last one was favorite coin. So 365 Days of Silver wants to know, what is your favorite piece in your personal collection? So piece could be anything.
So parking to one side my coin, my super coin. I really that I just picked up, so I'm quite proud of that. I think, oh gosh, there's a couple of notable, really key pieces, right? So the Dan in silver, that's really cool. That's on my shelf. I really like that one. Yeah, I that's probably right up there. The Stack of Social guys gifted that to me. Perfect, made by Silverpunk. Valui made me a flip coin, and that's really cool. It's so nice. It's in my drawer, and I don't want to get it out of the box because it's so perfect. And
I understand that.
If I could get it graded, I probably would. Yeah, those two pieces are right up there for me. And I've also got one of Liquid Silver's Aztec Marios. That's really, really nice. So those three pieces kind of jump to my mind. All three in silver, and all three by creators. I like that. There's a lot of thought and effort that goes into it, right?
And although in some cases there will be more than one made of the same design, they're all one of one because they can't perfectly replicate Poras. They can't replicate the same thing twice. There'll be a slight differentiation in the detail, which makes it, in my opinion, and probably yours too, really special and sets it apart from, pieces that are made by machines and stamps and whatnot. So, yeah, I love having that. I guess diversity in our own collection, and it's sentimental as well when it relates back to a Pora who's made it. There is some interesting questions I want to read, so we'll move on. But Crispy Shiny Thing says, Dan, you mentioned goldbacks. Yes, you did earlier. But do you think in the future there is a market for Cardiff goldbacks? Ooh, that's a new one.
I think we'd have to put a sock on there, though, right? We'd have to have like a design on there. Me in a mankini and some socks on the
front. Somebody needs to clip that. The instant regret in your face there.
Yeah, this is going to be a funny conversation tomorrow. So goldbacks are incredible. Same as Valorum, same manufacturer, right? So same technology, same manufacturer. The goldbacks are becoming more and more popular, particularly in the United States. They're much more collectibles over here. The premium on them to get them into the UK and the time and effort it takes to get them into the UK is very, very difficult. We have been exploring options of having something more British made. And hopefully that comes in the future, but there's no immediate plans to do that. We do have a large customer base that has a demand for religious-based items, and we've had that customer base for quite some time. So we will likely have our next custom project will likely be gold, but more religious based. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Really good questions coming through, stuff that I wouldn't think of beforehand. So it's great to see. Cy the Soundman.
Sorry, Nerd has just put me down for 20 Danbacks.
Danbacks. That's so good.
That's a bit genius.
My God. You can imagine it. Danbacks. You got the Nerd UK case to put them in. Amazing. Oh my God. I bet you leave when you do this. You come off with so many more ideas. We've got socks in demand. Knickknacks, Danbacks. I love that. Danbacks. I hope something happens with that, mate. Cy the Soundman, his last question was amazing. This one, question for Dan. How often do you hear, I'll wait for the price to drop? and then watch them come back after it's gone up even more.
More
So
than I hear
relevant
my
over
own
the last
name.
few months, yeah.
Honestly, the best time to buy gold and silver is right now.
Now.
If you've got the money, buy it now. Don't wait for the dip, because it never ever comes. I can probably caveat that with the closest thing to financial advice I'll ever give is, when you're buying gold or silver, you buy it, immediately the price will drop. That's life. That's what happens to us all. You'll buy 100 and it'll drop to 90. That's life. That's what happens. If you've got the funds and it's within your financial capability, buy it now. Buy it. Don't wait for the dip.
When you've bought gold, don't look at the price for a few years. Don't even look.
That's why I'm
Look in
bald.
3 years.
I started in the industry with hair like yourself, and now I'm bald. Gone.
Oh, there you go. Brilliant. 365 Days of Silver question for Dan. What is your favorite graded Pokemon card?
Oh,
One for the Pokemon guys.
I have a very nice Garbodor. That's pretty cool. It's very off the beaten track, but it's pretty nice. Looking at me now, I've got a Charmander, Charmeleon. You know what I'm after next, obviously. But yeah, I've got some really, really nice pieces. Really, really nice pieces that I've picked up over the last couple of years. But yeah, probably my Garbodor. I really like that.
I'm going to be so disappointed here because I know Pokemon's really popular. I don't know. I never really got into Pokemon. I didn't go through that stage. I was when the Pokemon Go app came out and everyone was walking around and collecting them. I was part of that, but I don't know all the different like Pokemons and stuff. But I can appreciate, certainly because I see it so often, that some of these older, original, in good graded condition Pokemon cards are worth a lot of money and can be considered a good investment if you know what you're doing, just like any other asset. So yeah, it gets mentioned more and more, and I am interested in learning about it. So for those Pokemon guys, I love listening. Ian Atterbury, oh, go on.
I think it's now classed as an investment, I believe. I read it, I think in the Times or maybe the Wall Street, that they're now classing Pokemon cards or TCG cards as such, as a type of investment, which is quite interesting. Yes. We've had very, very serious discussions in the office about maybe offering them in some degree. Our sister business, Cash Max, actually offers some really nice graded cards as well, and they get the new releases and things like that. So yeah, really, really interesting.
I think if you did launch that, I think it's inevitable there'll be a lot of people interested in that offering because it's so popular. And for you guys that are interested watching this in Pokemon, I know there's a lot of you. So yeah, we'll have to see on that. Ian Atterbury, want to read this comment, who is a member of the channel. So thank you, Ian. It says, I've thrown away literally hundreds of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And match attacks over the years. He says, this is typical Ian. He says, sick of picking the bloody things up all over the house. You could have thrown away something valuable, right?
Yeah, but that's what makes it valuable. Lots of them in the market, the better it is. So thank you, Ian, I think.
Yeah, Ian's doing everyone a favor. He's threw out, I don't know, is it the original Charizard in good condition? That's worth a lot?
Yeah, that's the big cards, isn't it? Big card. Yeah. I particularly like my Japanese cards. I think they're just a little bit nicer. Adds a bit more.
As I'm scrolling down here, Dan, I'm seeing so many. Ian also wants to have a set of Dan backs. I see Cy the Soundman who wants a beard back.
A beard back. That's a good idea.
There could be a whole series.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly thank you so much for guys in the chat tonight. You've been so on form with questions, comments, so lively, and Dan, as you always are, an amazing guest. You're happy to answer all the questions, guys. I think it's about time we run the giveaway. There's a couple of things after that before we end the show, but we'll get into that point where, if it's okay with you, Dan, I would like to show people what is up for grabs. And remember, guys, if you're tuning in and hopefully you're enjoying the show and you're seeing this, the people that are in this giveaway it's already been determined. There was posts on this. So if you didn't make it in the giveaway, I'm here every week and there will be many more. So good luck to everyone that's in. And yeah, we'll show you what's in there. So I did, and Dan can vouch for this, like last week, I did have a second camera set up beforehand to show you in a much better way what's being given away, but I had some audio issues. It's why I started 10 minutes late. It was all my fault. So I'm going to be showing you here like this, just on the one camera, but I'll keep you on the screen. You can do like the and then like that. You can do all that. I'll keep you on, Dan, if that's okay. I like how this looks. So yeah, we're going to start with the Cardiff Gold care package. This is, I received 10 of these. Thank you very much, Dan. And look, I'm going to show this first and then I'll go through the rest because this is important. If you don't have one of these guys, you are missing out. Dan, sell me this pen. Look at this, guys. Now, you don't need to sell me this pen. Do you want to know why? Because I already know, guys, this is the best pen in the entire world. It is robust and it writes beautifully. If you've got paper, you need a pen, supply and demand. And if you haven't got one, you could pick up one tonight. Not just that, Dan has very kindly also sent us his most, I believe this is your more recent poker chip, because I have one. It's a slightly lighter blue and a different, just looks different.
Yeah, different back.
Yeah, so this is the latest one.
Have you scanned the code?
I was just about to show that. I don't know how clear it is on camera. How's that?
Yeah, pretty good.
Does that take people to your YouTube channel or your website?
It takes us to the website where it talks about us, our YouTube and socials, but also Stacker Social. So yeah.
There you go, guys.
Link. If you have one of those, if we ever do a little deal or a little cheeky discount code, that is where it will be, which doesn't happen very often with bullion dealers, but yeah, it.
Sorry, guys, I'm keeping this for myself. So there will be that, Dan. That's lovely. There's also sent from Dan, of course, a Stackers Social. This is the original poker chip. Got plenty of these, and that also has a QR code there, which will take you to the Stackers Social Discord group if you're not in it. I'm sure most of you already are. Right, so there's that. I don't think there's anything there. Where is it gone? You did have something. Where is it gone? Here it is. I couldn't see it. There's also, don't forget this, the Cardiff Gold sticker. That'll be in there as well as part of the care package. So thank you, Dan, for that. Now, before I show the community stuff, let's just rewind. There is also a 1/100th Germania Mint Gold Proof bar. Have I said that correctly, Dan?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. We don't have this to show now, and just security, and he doesn't trust himself, I believe, in case it gets disappeared. We can't show you it now, but it is secure, and it will be sent to the eventual winner that will be arranged. So yeah, and I have shared it in posts, so you can see what it looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. So there is that as well from Dan and Cardiff Gold. So once again, mate, thank you so much. And whoever the winner is, I'm sure they'll be straight there to thank you as well. Now, guys, we've got loads of stuff from the community that as we do every single week. So I'm going to whiz through that. I'll start with the stickers. Dan, you know, we love our stickers. We love our poker chips. You know very well. It's like currency. So let's go through that. Starting with mine. And this is the limited edition Little John SWC sticker. If you haven't got one of them, you can win that. This one's a bit smaller, from Ice and Fire. Oh, sorry, I don't want to set it off. Beautiful colours there. I know the lighting's dreadful. I will fix this for next week. Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah. I had a disaster before I went live, guys. I will sort everything out for next week. Please forgive me. Ice and Fire Edward again. I love the colours on this. This is a lovely sticker from him.
Love
with the dragons on. That's really, really nice. Also, from Ice and Fire, this design, those colors, he knows what he's doing. The blues, the fires, you will get that. It's the same on each side. It really is lovely. And it has like quite a unique texture to it as well. So there you go. Siol Forhordian, friend of the channel, friend of mine, has a fantastic YouTube channel, and he certainly knows how to make a nice sticker. Sorry, reflection. There you go. Really, really good. Right, the sniper. We wouldn't have a community bundle without the sniper. Here we are. Sticker of the thoughtful stacker, Ian Atterbury's poker chip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really cool. So that is in there. I love this sticker. Silver stacker. This is a really nice and high quality as well. Yeah. Silver stacker, who I did see in the chat. So thank you so much for popping that in. Stu's metal detecting. There's another sticker there. That's a good one. I like that. Crown cast silver. There is a sticker there for crown cast silver. Another very talented pourer. Here we go. The Brits and Sovs stickers will start. He sent me about 7,000, so you will see loads of Brits and Sovs. Make sure, once again, if you haven't already, go and check out Brits and Sovs. Subscribe. There is a massive giveaway that I'll be hosting for him when he gets to 1,000. He's like just over 100 away, so go and support him. You won't regret it. His channel is fantastic. And here's some more of his stickers. Love these. If you haven't noticed, Dan, I've got a lot of stickers to give away each week, mate. So we're about halfway through the stickers. Queen Nessie.
Sticker game. I'm embarrassed for a sticker game here.
People love it. This is Queen Nessie, always here every single week. Thank you very much. This one. This is like a business card, and this is, you recognize this guy. Well, you may do. He's anonymous. 365 days of silver. There's a really nice feel to this. There's the three founders of Stacker Social. You got Sai and TSC in the background, and the anonymous with his bag on his head, 365. You'll get one of them. We have these every week, guys. I think when 365 and Sai originally stocked me up, I've still got at least 3/4 of what they sent. I don't know how many they bought. It was a massive box that I got sent. But the original small Stacker Social sticker, the original square Stacker Social sticker, absolutely love these. They're great. More Brits and Sobs, guys. This is the bigger version. If the small one's no good, you've got the bigger one too. Absolutely love that. More from Brits and Sobs, because he has like 2 or 3 different logos. So there you go. And Scottish Bullion Collector, one of the channel members as well, friend of mine. Lovely sticker there. Larger. Right, so there is also, courtesy of Brits and Sobs, who sent me a load of these, a Stackers Social merch bag. And I'm not going to open this, but inside you've got a rubber band, a bottle opener, and a key fob with Stackers Social branding on. Really, really nice little package. Okay, stop for a breath. And poker chips. Right, this is where it gets exciting. So let's go through this. Ice and Fire Edward. He makes great stickers. He makes even better poker chips. Lovely design on that. Really high quality chips. Ice and Fire collection there. Silver stacker to go along with his sticker. You also get his poker chip, guys. Really, really nice. Stag on there. Really like that one. Queen Nessie, of course. Her poker chip is in there. Purple. A little bit different to what you normally see, so it stands out. Really nice. There's the hairy Q, as she says. Stacker Social. I believe these were limited edition, so some people are actually looking to get these. I do have a few. Stacker Social 2K milestone, and this is the Brits and Sobs edition. So there you go. One of them's in there. Now these, I thought I'd given these all away. I was one of the exclusive distributors, and I found this in a drawer that I used to store stuff in, and I thought, well, I've got to give it away. So I found another one of the Stackermon Pokemon poker chips. I really don't have any left of these after this, guys. So good luck whoever takes that one home. This is the last one of shiny silvers that we've got to give away. 2-sided there. Nice red poker chip. Benson's coins. Last man standing, limited edition. I've honestly lost track, mate, of how many poker chips you have. You must have about 50 different designs, but this is one of the really nice ones. And lastly, we have Scottish Bullion Collector poker chip. Really nice. Scottish flag on there. Love to see that. That's there. Right. There is some metals. Dan's brought the gold, and thank you very much for the people that donate copper round stuff to me. I'm chucking this one in, which was donated from a follower of the channel, and this is a 1 ounce copper round. Liberty on there. Sorry about the reflection, guys. I absolutely love copper. This is in a capsule, so I haven't touched it, and that changed on the reverse. Really, really nice. Pure copper. Who doesn't love a copper round? We spoke about copper before. Really popular. And yeah, that is tonight's giveaway. I think. What do you think of that, Dan?
That's a lot of stickers and poker chips, to be fair. Yeah, my poker chip collection's pretty big, but that one there is that's There's some in there as well I haven't got, so I have to. I've been making notes in my Cardiff Gold pen to chase some people.
Oh yes,
poker chips.
yes.
So because I get sent them from various different people, like yourself. So there's some really cool little bits in there. Yeah,
there is. The way I was going to do this was we use my spare webcam phone to show I've got maybe 20 or so names folded up in paper, and I was going to get you to pick a number, but I can't show you that now because the other phone just it didn't work. So the fairest way I can do this, it's going to require trust, guys. And I already know at the end of this giveaway, there is going to be a sea of hashtag rigged and all sorts of comments, and I can take it. But let me tell you, it's not rigged. It's a really generous giveaway, and it's all for fun. So put your faith in me, have your trust, and we haven't even done it yet, Dan. And the chat is just all rigged. Rigged. Yeah.
It's all rigged. It's all rigged. Yeah.
It's not. It's really not. It's all fair, guys. Stop it. Okay. Yeah. I got there first. I predicted it, so I was one step ahead. Right, Dan. Enough of me waffling. I'm going to get this on camera, and I'll do the best that I can. But guys, if you do feel like this is rigged, be sure to take it out on me, but not Dan. It's not Dan's fault. It's all mine. So make sure they're all there. Let's try and get up. So Dan, I have this. This is in my hand. Okay, this is officially the world's most corrupt giveaway ever. There's all the names, and I can't see them on those pieces of paper. How many of them? Give me a number between 1 and 10. Do you want me to take out? Because it'll be between them.
Let's get rid of 10 straight off.
So I tell you what, I'll let you decide, so it's not sort of pre-planned. Do you want me to remove 10 and then work with the ones that are left?
Yeah, let's remove 10 straight off. Chuck them in a Cardiff Gold bag out of the way.
Well, that one's attached, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is rigged. Right, where are we on? 5. So 6, 7, 8. I thought there was one attached. Sorry. 9. One more.
Yeah.
10. Right. So we've probably got about 10 left. So
okay. So give them a bit of a shuffle, maybe, and shake them around. Yeah.
Make sure I don't drop them. Right. Okay. Yeah, I say that's good.
Okay. So there's one by your palm, the edge of your little finger sticking out.
This?
No, the one to the back. Yeah, that one there, right in the edge, sticking up in the air. That one.
That's the winner.
That's the winner.
Okay, right. So that is it. Let me get rid of these other ones. Okay, we have the winner.
Did they include the soggy ones? Sai's asking if they included the soggy ones.
I can neither confirm nor deny. No, they're not soggy, so don't worry. Right, so let's open this up. How can I do this? Let's get there. So here's one. This. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! The chat is gonna go off. Oh my god! Even I think it's rigged. Oh my god! Guys, right. Let me explain something. So, misstacking with Craven. Oh no. So misstacking with Craven is in the giveaway because she's a channel member of mine, and all channel members get entered automatically. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Dan, you got what? Most rigged competition ever.
Most rigged ever, 1,000%. I want my knickknacks back. Misstacking with Craven just laughing. I I think
Oh
Miss
my
Stacking
gosh.
with Craven needs to come and collect her gifts. Who winning? Sorry, who winning? It's not gifts.
No, right.
That's
right.
more.
So, Cal George has said all 20 had Miss Stacking with Craven on. This is how I can show you it's not rigged. Right. So I'm just going to grab the next one along. You guys should know it's not rigged. So next one along, if you can see, that's Queen Nessie. I'll keep showing you. I know you guys know I wouldn't cheat you. Then we got, is this Bo? I'll just pick up a couple of random ones. This one here is Ian Atterbury. Yeah. I can see a lot of people now saying, well done, Miss C, SWC. I don't know how to react to that because this is like, right, so when I hosted Silverpunk Live in Stacker Social, which was amazing event, he did live pause live in there and asked me to be the host. And I was like, yeah, I love that. He did a giveaway, which, by the way, going back to it, was this beautiful Stacker Social completer bar. This is the one he poured and made live. And he said he announced on there he's going to be giving that away. My name was in the giveaway wheel and I won. So I think, I can see why everyone says rigged. I'm just seeing if Miss Stacking with Craven has said anything. Thanks all. Yeah, wow. Dan, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that you should know it's not rigged. And she's a channel member. She's a channel member.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. I think that's just the way it went. It's blue. Definitely, that's the way it went.
The other thing, though, I think this is what I'll say, and I'm confident saying this on her behalf, guys, is that the community stuff, the bundles, the poker chip, I think we should rerun something here now to find a winner for those because, yeah, how's that? Would that make it fair? The normal bundle that I would do. I don't think Mrs. Stacking with Craven is going to want to pass the gold bar on, though. I think she's going to want that.
Well, who came out second? Who did you pick up second?
At the first one I picked out, when it was just because they were all next to each other. The first one I picked out was Queen Nessie. If you remember, that's the next one I picked. So if you think that's the fairest way, and guys, let me know. iSpire says, well done, Craven. You've saved some postage. I haven't because I'm still going to post this out. Queen Nessie. Dan, I think Queen Nessie deserves everything else. So all the poker chips, all the stickers, apart from maybe the Queen Nessie ones. I think you'll let me keep them for the next giveaway. But everything else, Queen Nessie. How about that? What do we think, guys? When this happens, it's funny. It's also like, yeah, Queen was next. Electric Bloke agrees. Nessie. I think Nessie wins the community bundle, guys. Miss Stacking with Craven, well done. You won the Cardiff Gold giveaway. I'm sure there's going to be some backlash off that. Some people sending some messages. Yeah, what can I say? What are the odds of that? It's like 1 in 20 something. Ladies' night. Yeah, ladies' night. Absolutely. Well, that was that. Congratulations to the winners. Queen Nessie, send me your details and I will post this out to you. Absolutely. And Dan, I'm sure you will be in touch with the winner of the gold bar. Can't believe it. Amazing. Right, we'll move on for that. But I do just want to say, and I'm sure everyone else would say the same, putting on that, it's really kind. So thank you. And also, thank you for coming on and being a fantastic guest and for putting up with my technical issues for 15 minutes as well, Dan.
Yeah, I need to brush up on my sign language. Because that was quite interesting first 15 minutes. But yeah, it's a pleasure. I love interacting with everyone. I try and do it as much as I can. I know quite a few have met me through, particularly through Berlin and the World Money Fair. But I try and interact as much as I can. Obviously, my role can get quite busy, but the guys are there. Tash is quite chatty. Jake and Sylvia and Lucy are all there to chat to you as well. So everyone is more than welcome to come into the shop, come and see us. Our coffee is amazing. I vouch for it, hand on heart. And yeah, it's it's a pretty nice environment as well. And you can ask us questions and get to know us, because it can be daunting, right? Making a purchase, however big or small, and knowing the people behind it. And that's, for me, I'd rather be an approachable company than some behind the glass kind of thing.
Yeah, than going to a store and seeing someone in a mankini walking around with a camera.
Yeah.
What's going on here? No, absolutely. And I said to you, Dan, I have every intention to come and make my first visit at Cardiff Gold. So that'll be really exciting in the coming months. And before we do end here, as we are coming to the end, guys, there's a little tradition we need to do. Dan, do you have a question that I can ask for next week's guest?
Having been prompted and having watched your show in the slow time before, I do in fact have a question. And that is, if you could instantly learn any new skill, what would it be? So if you could instantly learn any new skill, what would it be? So
that's
that would be
good.
Kick off the conversation, right? Should kick it off.
Yeah. Last one before we end, guys. I'm going to end in 1 minute, but comment I saw, which I have to read. Michael Will says, community meetup at Cardiff Gold. Is that a security issue for you, or should we abandon
a little bit? Actually, that's something that we've been considering for some time. We've actually been looking for a suitable venue, and not specifically community meetup, but certainly for the wider audience that we can't sort of contain within our building. So yes, that is something that I would very much like to do, and work with Stack of Social guys to do that. But I think for a lot of people, Cardiff can be a little bit out of the way as well, right? So we're down in sunny-ish Wales. In the meantime, definitely come down and see us. I do try and interact as much as I can. If it's a particular question, try and tag me in it, and I will, well, either myself or one of the guys will get around to trying to answer it as best we can. But it is quite busy with us. We are getting a lot of questions and emails and calls and things. So just bear with us a little bit, but we will get to you, I promise.
There we go. Well, that is a wrap for episode 32. What a pleasure it has been to have special guest Dan on. Thank you so much once again. Guys in the chat, you have been phenomenal tonight. You really have. So active. You've made me laugh. It's been amazing. And some great questions for Dan as well. And you answered every single one. So fair play. That's it. That's a wrap, guys. We will, of course, be back next week, 7 p.m. We're live every single Sunday. Once again, thank you so much to my channel members. I launched Craven's Crackers Club this week, and I truthfully have been overwhelmed by the support. So thank you to all of you that have signed up. Apart from that, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Go and have a relaxing rest of your Sunday evening, and I hope you take some good momentum into next week. And apart from that, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.